Previously on The Dawn Pearl. After a perilous dive into the abyss beneath Glass Cove, the Straw Hat crew uncovered a secret that had been lost to time. The Sunken Kingdom, a city preserved by an ancient, shimmering barrier. Here, they learned the stunning truth. The legendary Dawn Pearl wasn't a weapon of mass destruction as the stories claimed, but the very heart that once brought balance and stability to the seas. But just as the massive Dawn Vault began to unlock itself, a shadow fell over the trench. Above, the fearsome Crimson Fleet, led by the ruthless Admiral Kael, had arrived. The ancient Tidebreaker Sentinel, guardian of the cove, mysteriously stood aside, its purpose seemingly fulfilled. Now, with enemies above and an ancient power awakening below, the final trial was about to begin. The entire Sunken Kingdom begins to tremble violently. A blinding golden light erupts from the now opening Dawn Vault, cascading across the city. Ancient, intricate symbols, dormant for centuries, ignite with energy, crawling across the walls of every tower and temple like living veins of fire. The water contained within the barrier becomes eerily still, a placid mirror-like surface defying the chaos around it. High above, Queen Lysera's ethereal hologram grows brighter, her voice echoing with solemn authority through the silent water. Only those who embody the true spirit of the dawn may claim its heart. Before anyone can react, the very ground beneath their feet cracks and splits apart. Deep fissures tear through the ancient city square. With a deafening groan of stone against stone, 3 colossal guardians rise from the depths. Each one is a monolithic statue, intricately carved and pulsing with the same golden light as the city walls. They are ancient, powerful, and utterly terrifying. One is etched with a symbol for strength, its form broad and impossibly muscular. The second bears the symbol for will, its posture unyielding and stoic. The third and final guardian glows with a symbol for truth, its gaze seeming to pierce right through you. Usopp, his legs already shaking, gulps audibly. Why? Why do ancient civilizations always choose violence as the answer? Without warning, the Guardian of Strength roars, a soundless concussion that ripples through the water. It slams its massive stone fists into the ground. A devastating shockwave rips through the city, shattering pavement and sending debris flying. Luffy, ever the enthusiast for a good fight, just grins wider. Alright, looks like the first round's all mine. He cracks his knuckles and charges forward, his fist pulled back for a devastating gum pistol. He unleashes the punch, but the impact is nothing. The Guardian doesn't even flinch. It seems to absorb the kinetic energy effortlessly. In a flash, it swings its arm, swatting Luffy away like a fly. He goes rocketing through the air, crashing into a nearby tower with a loud thud. Myra, watching intently from the side, shouts over the rumbling. Luffy, wait! It's not testing your raw power. It's absorbing your attacks. Luffy, pulling himself from the rubble, dusts himself off. He looks at the Guardian, then at his own fists, and a moment of realization dawns on his face. He smiles, but this time it's a different clever smile. Instead of charging in for another punch, he dashes forward, stretching his rubbery arms wide. He doesn't strike the Guardian. Instead, he wraps his arms completely around its colossal frame, anchoring himself to the ground. When the Guardian tries to slam its fists down again, Luffy uses his own momentum, redirecting the immense force. He's not fighting it. He's containing it, using his strength not to destroy, but to protect the city behind him. The Guardian's attack is nullified. It freezes, its movements ceasing completely. The glowing golden symbol on his chest flickers and fades into dull stone. The first trial is passed. Immediately, the Guardian of Will turns its heavy stone head, its glowing eyes locking onto Zoro. The air shimmers, and the entire city is flooded with terrifying illusions. Zoro finds himself surrounded by images of his deepest fears, his precious swords shattered and broken. His comrades fallen and defeated on a bloody battlefield. An endless, unwinnable battle against a foe he can never surpass. The illusions are designed to break his spirit, to fill him with despair. But Zoro simply tightens his grip on his katanas, the familiar weight of comfort in the chaos. He lets out a low growl, his voice cutting through the phantoms. I don't fight to win some ancient trial. He takes a single resolute step forward. I fight so my captain never has to walk his path alone. With each step, he swings his blades, slicing through the illusions as if they were paper. They dissipate before his unwavering resolve. The guardian of will is challenged, met, and defeated, slowly kneels, bowing its head in submission. Now only one remains. The final guardian, the guardian of truth, turns its gaze upon Mira. Instantly, her world is consumed by visions from her own life. She sees herself as a young, idealistic Navy officer, swearing an oath she would later be forced to betray. She sees the faces of those she failed, the lives she couldn't save during her time serving a corrupt system. The failures, the compromises, the regrets. They all wash over her, a tidal wave of guilt and shame. Queen Lysera's voice echoes around her, a gentle but piercing question. Why do you seek the Dawn Pearl? What is your truth? Myra trembles, her fists clenched as she fights back tears. The visions threaten to overwhelm her. But then, she lifts her head, her voice shaking but clear and strong. I don't want redemption. I don't think I deserve it. Her gaze is firm, her resolve absolute. I want to stop history from repeating itself. I want to build a future where no one has to make the choices I did. As she speaks her truth, the guardian dissolves, not into rubble but into a cascade of pure, golden light that rains down around her. With the 3 trials complete, a deep, resonant hum fills the kingdom. The Dawn Vault, its final lock released, slides open completely. Inside, floating in a sphere of serene energy, is the Dawn Pearl. It's not a cold jewel but a living, breathing orb of light, radiant and warm. It pulses gently, like a heartbeat. As Luffy steps closer, the pearl seems to react to his presence, its light flaring in recognition. At that exact moment, the unnaturally calm sea outside the barrier begins to rage. The water churns into a violent maelstrom. High above the trench, on the deck of his flagship, Admiral Kael watches the roiling sea on his monitors. A cruel, triumphant laugh escapes his lips. So the little treasure has finally awakened. He turns to his cannon crews, a wicked glint in his eye. Prepare the trenchbusters. Fire at will. A barrage of massive energy-charged projectiles rains down from the Crimson Fleet. They slam into the shimmering barrier, protecting the Sunken Kingdom. The ancient shield groans, and spiderweb cracks begin to spread across its surface. It's beginning to fail. Down below, the city is rocked by the impacts from above. Queen Lysera's hologram looks from the cracking barrier to Luffy, her expression urgent. The sea rages, and the sky falls. The Dawn Pearl has chosen you, inheritor of the Dawn. Luffy looks at the radiant pearl, then clenches his fist, his face set with determination. Then let's finish this. To be continued. Thanks for watching, and if you're loving this adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next. We'll see you in the next episode.